what I'm talking about, Chris. Nice job.
Thanks, Coach.
Guys, a little help?
Giz.
You're gonna do great today, Chris.
Thanks. I'm kind of nervous. This is the first time I've ever been a starter.
Well, look who's joining the big leagues. Hey, Quantum, if you're gonna be a starter today, then you gotta know who that is.
That's C.J. Harris, the best player in the league. Why?
Well, CJ seems to have lost his cleats and shirt,
We happen to have found him.
and we need you to hide them.
But, guys,
Relax. We'll give him back.
Just not till after the game.
without his cleats and jersey, he can't play.
That's kind of the point, Quantum.
And without CJ, we should be able to beat their team, no problem.
But, guys, that's cheating.
All right, guys, bring it on.
It's all up to you, Quantum. Prove you're a starter.
Chris, what the team is asking you to do is wrong.
But this is my first time with the starters, Joy. And Sherman and Hideo are just
Sherman
trying
and Hideo are just a couple of bullies trying to bring you down to their level. You're not actually considering going along with them. Superbook!
I am taking you to meet two men who were not afraid to follow the Lord and do what was right.
Okay, all right, let's go, boys. Bring it in. All my starters over here. Come on.
What are you gonna do, Chris?
If Caleb and Joshua could follow the Lord and stand up to those other spies, what excuse do I have for not standing up to a couple of bullies like Hideo and Sherman?
Come on over, Chris. Come, huddle up.
Chris, what are you doing? You heard my dad. Huddle up.
Just a second, Coach. I have something that can't wait. Hey, CJ, I'm Chris Quantum.
What's Quantum doing?
He's giving CJ his equipment back.
I want everyone giving 100% out there. Do your best and have fun. Got it? Chris, what was that about?
I had to get CJ Harris's uniform and cleats.
You did, huh? Would you care to enlighten me as to how CJ Harris's gear ended up inside your gym bag?
Oh, that? It's a funny story, Dad.
Well, I love funny stories, and I'm gonna let you tell it to me right here on the bench.
What?
Demarius, you're going in.
All right!
Dad, you can't.
I can and did. Sit down, son.
Superbook Joshua and Caleb episode, Season 4, Episode 7. In this episode, we see that Chris gets his big break to start on the soccer team. His excitement quickly fades when he finds out some teammates are willing to cheat to win. Even worse, they want Chris to help them. Chris is in a bad spot. Superbook then takes Chris, Joy and Gizmo to meet Caleb, Joshua and 10 other spies sent out by Moses to explore the land of Canaan. The Lord has promised the Israelites, and about this we can read in Numbers chapter 14 from the Bible. And the life lesson we get, or the lesson we can learn from this episode of Superbook, that is Joshua and Caleb, is that never be afraid to follow the Lord and do what is right. In this episode, we see that Chris, at the end of this episode, when he returns from the adventure, fights for the right. In the same way, we also should not be afraid to follow the Lord and do what is right. Now let me share with you about Joshua. Joshua was Moses' military commander when they left Egypt. Joshua and Caleb were the only two spies of 12 that brought back a good report to Moses about the land of Canaan. Before Moses died, he made Joshua the leader of the Israelites as God had commanded. Joshua led the Israelites into the promised land to possess it as God had promised. God gave Joshua victory over the enemy, and no one could stand against him. We can learn about this or read ourselves. You can read yourself about this Bible event in the Bible in Joshua chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 18 and 24, and also we can read Exodus chapter 17 and 32, and Numbers chapter 13, Deuteronomy chapter 31 and 34. We can read in these many verses about Joshua and what we find in Superbook Joshua and Caleb episode. Then we can see about Caleb also there. Caleb was one of the 12 spies. Caleb was sent by Moses to explore the land of Canaan. Only Caleb and Joshua returned with a good report. Caleb was 85 years old when he declared he was still as strong as he was at the age of 40 when Moses sent him to explore Canaan. He told Joshua that he was ready and able to fight the giants in Canaan to possess his land. Joshua blessed Caleb with his request, and he conquered the area of Hebron to his portion of the land. And we can read about this from the Bible in Numbers chapter 13 and 14 and Joshua chapter 14. Now, as we have talked about victory over giants, let me share with you about giants from the Bible. The people who lived in the land of Canaan were described as giants. The 10 fearful spies brought back a report that they saw giants, and they felt like grasshoppers next to them. God told his people to fear not. He would destroy the giants and drive them out of the promised land. In the Bible, we find that one giant in the land of Canaan had a bed made of iron and was more than 13 feet long and 6 feet wide. Another giant was described as a huge man with 6 fingers on hand and 6 toes on each feet. And among the giants, the most famous giant in the Bible was named Goliath. He taunted the Israelite army for 40 days until David, by God's help, defeated him. Yes, the Israelites faced giants and God defeated them all. And we can read about this in the Bible in Numbers chapter 13, Deuteronomy chapter 9 and 1 Samuel chapter 17. And dear friends, you can watch about defeating the Goliath in the first season of Superbook, The Great Adventure. It is available on YouTube. So let me share with you now about 12 spies. Moses chose one man from each of the 12 tribes of Israel to spy or explore the promised land for 40 days. 10 spies brought back a bad report which filled the Israelite camp with fear. 2 spies, Caleb and Joshua, brought back a good report filled with faith. God punished the 10 spies with a plague and they died. Joshua and Caleb were blessed by God for their faith and were allowed to enter the promised land. And we can read about this from the Bible in Numbers chapter 13 and 14. So these are the things we can find in Superbook Joshua and Caleb episode. And we also can learn that do my words really matters in this episode. The life lesson we can learn about our words, the words we use. Let's see, do my words really matters? The words of the 10 faithless spies brought fear and disbelief of the Israelite camp. Then the whole community began weeping aloud, and they cried all night. You can read about this in Numbers chapter 14 verse 1. There is power in our words. Our words can tear down or they can build up. What we say can build faith or steal faith. God showed Moses the promised land on the other side of the mountains. It was now time to possess the land. Instead, the Israelites chose to listen to the words of the 10 spies. Fear and unbelief robbed God's people of his promised blessing. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 9 says, "Don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. Dear friends, as followers of Jesus, we must choose our words carefully. We must not tear down, but rather build people's faith by our words of love and encouragement. Let us always look for opportunities to share God's promises with others. May we choose to be like Caleb and Joshua and live by faith, possessing all that God has for us until Jesus comes back. As people see our walk of faith, let their faith be built up. As they listen to our words, let them be strengthened and encouraged. And let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of Jesus' return is drawing near. You can read about this in Hebrews chapter 10 verse 25. Dear friends, in Superbook Joshua and Caleb season 4 episode 7, we see these all events that I have just said in this video. And at the end, Chris gets encouragement to fight for the right, and he exposes the wrong thing his teammates were doing. And we can see that they are playing soccer properly during the game. In the opening scene, we see Chris and Joy just practicing the soccer, and later at the end we see they are playing the game, soccer game, with excitement. So dear friends, this is all about Joshua and Caleb episode. Thank you for watching and God bless. Please like, share, comment and subscribe our channel for more Superbook episodes similar to this, where you can learn about lessons for life from the Bible. Please let me know what kind of videos you'd like to watch and which Superbook episodes similar to this you like to watch in the videos I make. Please comment below. I will just make the videos you comment. Thank you and God bless. Hello friends, this is Isaac Rai here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am back with Superbook episode. Today I have brought